a really easy Play-Doh recipe. There are tons of them online. You can go look. Some of them call for cream of tartar. Some of them call for lemon juice. I'm going to make one tonight with lemon juice because I didn't have cream of tartar. And that's okay because you can do this all kinds of different ways. So what you're going to do first is you're going to take 3/4 cups of water. It's super easy, so you can incorporate your measuring cups. You're going to pour it into what Laura Casey just used, the stack cooker. She used the 3-quart with the cone. I'm using the 1 3/4 quart casserole piece. And I put the water in. I also am going to take 3 tablespoons. I think it's 3 tablespoons. Now I'm second guessing myself. Maybe it's just 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil or olive oil, whichever oil you have. And then because I'm using lemon juice, I'm going to use my zest and press. So you're going to take a half of a lemon and you're going to squeeze and get all the lemon juice out that you can. If you really wanted to measure it, it's about 2 tablespoons. Instead of the cream of tartar, you can use this. If you're going to use the cream of tartar, it's going to ask you to use that. Don't forget our zest and press has the beautiful little zester. If you're using this for recipes, you would want to use that. I had some, excuse me. Okay, so we're going to put this in the microwave and I've already had it in there for about 2 minutes just to kind of help you guys with time. I'm going to do it for another 3 minutes because you want to get your water really good and hot. If you were doing this on the stove, you would want your water to kind of boil, to kind of get to a boiling point. You can add your food coloring at this point. So if you're only making one batch of Play-Doh and you're not making like a red, a green, a blue, and a yellow, then you can just put a food coloring in the water. But if you want to make different colors and not make all these different batches, then all you have to do is wait till you get it finished and then add your food coloring in. While that's going on, you're going to take another bowl and you're going to take a cup of all-purpose flour and 1/4 of a cup of salt. Okay, and you want to use your whisk and you want to whisk those 2 ingredients together. All right, get them nice and mixed up. And then once our water is nice and warm and boiling and really good and cooked or hot, we're going to bring that over and I'm going to pour my Play-Doh mixture, my flour and my salt into my water. So it's literally just got 1 more minute left. So while that's cooking, don't forget that this is toxic free. If you have children with allergies such as celiacs or gluten allergies or anything like that, soy allergies, peanut allergies, this is completely safe if you use a gluten-free flour or make sure you don't use any kind of oil that would be have an allergic reaction like a peanut oil or anything like that. But non-toxic, all household ingredients that you probably have sitting around in your house anyway. And if the little kids eat this, it's okay. I know that the other Play-Dohs at home at the store say, oh, they're non-toxic and things like that, but they have chemicals in them. If you look at the ingredients, it's going to tell you that there's all kinds of dyes and stuff like that in it. But I like this Play-Doh mixture because it's easy, it's fun. The kid can actually make it and play with it. And I have learned from not Otto because he's not quite old enough, but just from other kids being around that if you're cooking and doing something that's a little bit, it might be a little bit harder for them to do, you can let them make Play-Doh and play with that in the kitchen while you're doing other things and it kind of keeps them occupied. Okay, so I've got my water and you could definitely double this recipe if you wanted to as well. I'm going to put my mixture into my flour. And I'm just going to stick it together pretty quickly. You want to get it together while it's still warm. You don't want to let it dry or let it get cooled off. And if you guys can kind of see, it's kind of like a cake. It kind of starts crumbling. And then as you mix it, the more and more, it starts kind of getting a little bit more like dough. Okay? Because that's pretty much all I'm making is Play-Doh. Now, I will be honest with you, don't put your hands in here at this point in the game because it's going to be really hot. It'll burn you because that hot water was pretty much boiling. And it would be a whole lot easier to mix it with your hands, but it will burn you and your kid. Okay? So wait on it to cool off a little bit. Okay, it is cool, so I can touch it. All right, so now we're gonna take and just kind of knead it together. You guys can kind of see what I'm doing. And you can see it turned it all into the dough. You're gonna take a cutting board and just kind of dough it just like you would bread. You're just gonna kind of knead it together, get all the things together and mixed nice and smooth. And this is the point where you could take it in half or take a piece of it, take some food coloring, put it on the dough or on the Play-Doh and mix it together with your hands, or you can put it in a bowl and do it with a spoon, however you want to. And you can just keep adding as much food coloring as you want to until you have the color that you want. So you could literally make, what I like to do with this when I do classes at the studio or Zoom classes is to give people snack cups, and they can take their Play-Doh mixture and they can divide it up into 3 or 4 different snack cups, and they can color it, red, yellow, blue, green, purple, anything that they want to. This one I've made orange. I can keep adding food color into it and get it really good and orange. But I just want to let you guys see how you can add your food coloring. Again, you can add the food coloring to the water, and then when you mix it all together, it's all mixed in, so you don't get food coloring all over you and your hands, which is not that big of a deal. But if you want to divide it all out, then you need to do the food coloring individually. And that's it. Got some Play-Doh.